Welcome to episode 10 of the Basement Boys podcast. Today is Friday, May 9th, or May 8th. Yeah, it's May 8th. Yep, sorry guys, May 8th. Losing track of days here in quarantine. Chase, how was your week since we last talked on Tuesday?
Oh, it's been pretty good. I'm having a great time. We just got to be a little quiet today because it's late at night, filming late at night. All of our parents are asleep.
Yep, you got to stay true to the brand. The Basement Boys, Chunk and I just closed at our local gas station, so it's later, so we got to be quiet. So if you're wondering why we're talking like this, we're not trying to seduce you. We're just being quiet. Chunk, how I've seen you quite a bit, but how was your week? Tell the people what the week of Chunk was this last week.
I don't have to be as quiet because there are a couple floors above me, which is nice. Still in the basement, but yeah, I've been fishing, golfing. I was really, really fucked up yesterday, so I was planning on taking today off, but you guys talked me into going again, so here we are. Happy to be here.
Well, so Chunk, safe to say that your goals for May has not been going well so far. The week of no drinking.
Correct, but planning on taking a backpacking trip late in the month, and I'm hoping that's the week I don't do it. So.
All right. I mean, you're almost on 7 straight days of drinking. Does that take it off then?
Don't say that. It's really embarrassing to hear. I did take Tuesday night off.
Oh, okay. All right.
On a Tuesday night.
But my goal for May was to run 100 miles, and I think I'm up to 24 now, boys. Some days I don't want to get after it, but once I start running, I'm getting to that point where I'm almost on that runner's high, and it's like I forget I'm running. Just throw on some little baby and then just run wherever. But I'm doing all right with mine. Chase, have you tried dunking yet?
So my dad actually, like 2 days after we made our goals, my dad gave away our basketball hoop to a coworker. So I'm gonna have to go around to a park or something and try to find a hoop and see if it's close to 10 feet or something.
If they're open, you just got little kids there, and you're just sitting over there with like your headband trying to dunk.
Just rim stuffing myself.
Dude, I gotta say, like, what's it feel to have a running high? Never had one.
Oh, it's weird. I'm kind of close to that. I don't fully have it, but you're just running and you don't really think about anything. You don't realize it. It's almost like walking. And then till you're like today I was like a mile and a half in, and I checked my phone. I was like, holy shit. And it's just like kind of like you forget your surroundings, but you're just running. I don't know, it's hard to explain, I guess, but it's just like you have like energy, and I don't know. It's like when you're drunk without realizing you're drunk.
Like when you come stumbling out of the bars and you decide just to sprint home because it'll take like a little less time.
Yeah,
Basically.
basically. So episode 10, boys, we're in double digits now. Doing pretty well. Listeners, we understand. Thank you for those that are staying dedicated to this through with the nice weather and everything, but we've still got key amount of listeners doing pretty well. We're excited about that. We have exciting new changes coming your way. We'll keep you tuned with that. We have to get our videos up on YouTube. I'll get to Thor on that. He's been busy. We've all been busy recently I've had finals. Everyone else had real life stuff. So we'll be sure to get the last 2 episodes out there on YouTube and this episode as well. But we'll kind of go into the news now. A lot has happened since last Tuesday. I was telling Chase this. The only thing I can think of for last Tuesday's episode was the Andy Dalton going to the Cowboys, and then now I've got like 6 different things to choose from. But we'll start up with this one. Chase, I'll let you read more into this than I did, but Earl Thomas recently got into the news with TMZ. So what exactly happened there, Chase?
Yeah, so the headline was just Earl Thomas gets gunpoint to his head. And that was like first thing I saw for a little bit, and I read into it more today. And he was having an orgy with his brother. And his wife found him on Snapchat, I think logged into his Snapchat, like off her phone or something, found his location, and then busted down the door. He's just having an orgy with his brother. Whips out a knife. I guess at first she whipped out a knife and was like chasing him around. And then when the cops showed up, she had a gun like to his head, and the gun's like registered to him and everything. but I don't know if you guys saw his reaction video to it. He actually put out a video before TMZ dropped it, and he's just like shirtless in his kitchen. He looks so like nonchalant. Looks like he just woke up or something. And he's just like, stuff happens. Like, keep us in your prayers and all this. And like, that relationship has got to be absolutely nuts if that's like something that you just say, stuff happens, keep us in your prayers too.
Yeah, yeah. Because he tried to get it out before TMZ, which he did break the news before they did, and he was pissed that it got out. Surprised it happened in April. I'm surprised it took this long. Usually it's like the next day, but my favorite part is uh, yeah, he was like, this happens, whatever, we'll get through it. And somebody's like, no, that's not normal shit that happens. You don't, that does, first of all, why are you having an orgy with your brother? That's borderline incest, I feel like. But
How do you keep something like that in your prayers? Like, what does the prayer sound like? You just like, oh dear God, keep Earl out of these orgies with his brother, his wife. like, what do you even say?
Yeah, it's,
Like, why are you asking for prayers when you cheated on your wife and then you basically touch tips with your brother too? I'm not fucking praying for you.
I guess they do have like a family and kids and stuff, so they keep them in your prayers. I can understand, but like, oh
He's
man,
acting like they like bicker a lot or something. It's like, dude, you're having freaking orgies, and she's like about to kill you. Like,
I mean, not to get deep here, but what's your or you probably can't predict your reaction if you walked in on your significant other doing in a situation like that. But what do you like? What do you think you would do? I've heard many different stories of not many different, but some stories of this.
I've
And
heard a lot of stories of orgies, eating orgies. No, I don't know. If I walked in on that, I'd probably just like drop my head and give up. Just turn around and just give up. Probably never talk to him again.
yeah, just leave. But who knows? Heat of the moment, things could happen. Um, I feel like that's a great porno for Chunk to get into and watch.
Jesus Christ, you dropped it 5 minutes into this one. Christ. You know, I'm never going to get a girlfriend because of this, because they're just going to think I'm a porn addict.
We're all in the same boat. We just decided to take it out on Chunk, I guess.
Ah,
But all right, so you guys have any more to talk about on the Earl Thomas situation?
Living
no.
his best life, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, all pro safety. Gotta do what you gotta do. But on Thursday, I was scrolling Twitter and I saw some tweets from Giannis, something about Trippy Red, and I was like, what the fuck? It was just weird. And I saw multiple other tweets. Giannis was clearly hacked. Stuff about going to the Warriors, a lot of racist things that were said on there. Called the NBA the N word. Uh, Chunk, you saw these tweets. What was your favorite one, I guess, out of these tweets?
I think the one that Steph Curry about fucking his wife, that was fucking hilarious.
But I think he looks at these and it affiliated him with the Warriors, and it makes him kind of not want to go to the Warriors. Then just kind of my little spiel on it. He sees that he's a family man. Obviously, he's very upset that this probably happened to him, and he sees that and he's just like, I'm just not gonna explore that avenue after all of this. But I don't know. I'm just maybe just spewing things. Chase, what was your
Yeah.
take on this?
I don't know. Maybe if they find out who the hacker was and where he's from, and like if he's from Milwaukee or something, maybe that forces him to leave. Maybe if he's from like San Francisco or something like that, or Los Angeles, maybe that keeps him here. That's maybe going out on a limb. But yeah, I was just going through my feed and I saw it and I was like, oh my God. And then like I saw like 2 or 3 more and I was like, okay, these are definitely all hack tweets. And then there was like so many of them and I was like, all right, usually they're like super racist off the bat, but at least this hacker is. And then right then I was like, oh, there's the N word.
You could tell that it was a white guy too that was saying all this stuff. If I was to hack into like a celebrity like that, I would definitely just um say something subtle about going to the Warriors or something. I wouldn't be like just so obvious that it's not this person saying these things. But they got into his bank account and stuff too. Did you see that?
Yeah, they like got everything from all his socials, his email, bank account. So hopefully he didn't lose any money or anything.
Yeah. So yeah, kind of a scary situation. People can just get into your information like that. I don't know. if they actually hacked into it or figured out his password or.
I like how the guy like plugged his Discord too. Like he's like just firing off all these racist tweets, and then he's like, "Oh, I'll just throw my Discord in here too. Maybe I'll get some followers."
Yeah, it was a weird situation. You could tell it was obviously not Giannis, but hopefully he doesn't leave or anything. He said something about the coronavirus, called Asian people a bad word too. Just not a good situation to be in or see. Could could the hacker get jail time? I guess if you go into his bank accounts, but just for hacking into a Twitter, could you get jail time for that?
It's like freedom of speech, and I don't know about the whole like hacking thing, but it's probably not freedom of speech, no.
You're saying stuff like that. There's probably something. But what if it actually was Giannis and he just
His like agent saw it. His agent saw it and was like, "Jesus Christ, man!"
Someone said that Giannis could just slid in there with the Chris Middleton thing during all of this. Just had his own take about how he's a ass, which isn't true, but all right. Next thing. Sorry, kind of moving fast here in this episode, trying to be quiet for the roommates. But the NFL schedule came out on Thursday. A lot of interesting matchups. We'll kind of go through the Packers schedule first. Chunk and I thought we saw a leak that it was going to be Monday Night Football Week 1 against the Colts, which would have been kind of fun. But it turns out it's a noon game at Minnesota. Do you guys like this opening up with another division opponent like we did last year, or would you like to see something switched up? Chunk, I'll start with you.
Personally, I like it. I would have been upset if it was like opening up with Detroit. You get all hyped up for the NFL season and start with the Lions. But Minnesota being a rival, they always play us tough. Going to there first, I think that helps us. We don't have to wait like last year. To your point earlier, that we had that thing over our head all year waiting for us to go to Minnesota. So I like getting them out of the way right away. And division games are huge. I like starting with them.
Chase, you're big on what time games are. I've noticed living with you and like when we play teams. So did you like that? You're always big on the time slots and stuff. So
yeah, I really like the noon time slot. I hate the 3 time slot for the Packers.
Yeah,
The Packers, I like
the Chunk.
I like the 3 time slot for just like random, like a Cowboys game, Chargers game, whatever. But I really like the noon slot for Packers. Looks like we got a decent amount of those, so I'm pretty excited about that. Starting off with the Vikings, it's kind of weird. I guess that we kind of get one of those games out of the way, and you're never truly yourself as a team week 1, even the first 4 weeks. So it may be kind of a weird game if we end up losing it or blow them out or something like that. So kind of weird. I would have liked to see like Lions or Bears there. I guess we got Lions week 2, but love the noon slot.
Yeah. Tough games week 1 are fine with me. You get them out of the way. It's a early measuring stick for your team. Like last year, I thought the Bears, that was good to have week 1. Showed up, gave us confidence going into the Vikings the next week. But Minnesota week 1 is fine. I like playing easy teams, obviously. You like to just be 1-0 pretty easily off the bat. But it's interesting for how many years in a row we start off with like a couple division opponents right away. Last year we had the Bears and Vikings. This year we go to at Minnesota and then against Detroit. Playing at US Bank's always tough. I think this is huge. We've got a lot of away games right away, which is huge because maybe half the season there's no fans. So if you play at US Bank Stadium with no fans, that's as good as it can get. Neutral playing ground. Chase,
Also going to the Superdome and Mercedes-Benz. If there's no fans, those first 4 or 6 games we're playing in domes. Oh, I guess never mind. We're not going to Mercedes, or we're not going to the Superdome. Yeah, we're not going to Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, we are.
Week 3 is Superdome.
Yeah, but we're not going to Atlanta. Atlanta's at home.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I guess 2 of those that would be in domes though, not in domes, would be huge if there's no fans.
Yep. So that was nice. So week 2, you mentioned it, home against Lions, noon. Probably gonna be a really sunny game against Detroit in September there. Lambeau in September, I think, is as beautiful as Lambeau in the winter, with just the sun glistening in. I thought it was nice to get Detroit out of the way there. Those games are always you tune in, but you don't get pumped up for Lions games. You know what I mean? Like it's different. It's not Minnesota or Chicago, but and those are two new games right away on Fox. Week 3, we go at New Orleans Sunday night. That will be a game I will definitely get pumped up for, fans or no fans. NBC Sunday night. Nothing like me and Eric agreed that Sunday night watching Packers on Sunday night is probably the best. You just get to watch all these games during the day, and it leads up to just them playing on Sunday night, which I think is better than Monday night. So I'm excited about that. Do you guys like seeing the Saints right away in the schedule? Chase, start with you.
Yeah, kind of like I said before. Having your tough games early in the season, I kind of like. Kind of as you're figuring yourself out, going against tough opponents, that's a good way to do it. So I like that there. These first 6 games, though, I think are even 7, 8 games are super tough. So I do like having them there, though.
Yeah, Chunk, what about you?
Yeah, I like playing New Orleans early too. The team will be healthier late in the season. It'll be a good test for us. And then, if we do end up playing New Orleans in the playoffs or something, both teams will be so different from week 3 to the playoffs. I like the gap there.
Yeah, and New Orleans, I think they kind of struggled at the beginning of the season. Last year they did. Breeze got hurt, obviously, but they weren't as hot. Once New Orleans gets on a roll, though, they're pretty tough to stop. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how Breeze is doing into that. But week 4, we have another primetime game. Monday night at home against Atlanta. We usually have Atlanta's number when we're at home. When we're on the road, we usually lose to Atlanta, so I like that we play them at home this year again on Monday night. That'll be a game, I guess, we'll all get pretty excited for. Monday night games don't get me as excited. It's just the commentators, Chunk and I talked about it, so that'll be interesting. Next, we move into week 5 bye week pretty early, but I think it's will help us with this stretch of games coming after last year. And we had it right in the middle week or bye week. Usually they like to switch teams with the late, early. They switch them around year to year so that teams aren't getting the same bye weeks. But then week 6, we have what looks like a 325 Fox matchup, which will probably get Aikman and Buck at Tampa Bay. Chunk, what do you like about that matchup, and do you like where it fit in our schedule?
I like it a lot coming off the bye. I think that'll help us prepare for Tom and that offense. But I think the NFL needs to adapt this thing where like bye weeks are like only weeks 8 through week 11. I think it's so unfair to have a week 5 bye and then have to play 12 straight games. Like I think that's a little ridiculous. But it helps us with Tampa Bay. We'll be able to prepare for them. So I like the spot there.
Yep. And then another tough one, week 7, we're at Houston, a noon game on Fox, which for some reason, if I felt like this was a Sunday night or Monday night game at Houston, we'd struggle. It's just my psyche here. Am I crazy for saying that, opposed to like a Sunday night game? Like, I just feel like noon games, they get more overlooked. Guys are more ready. They're not under the bright lights. So at Tampa Bay, then at Houston, that is our only back-to-back road trip game. So the NFL helped us out there. Then we go home November 1st, week 8, noon against Minnesota. I thought one of our games against Minnesota would be Sunday night, but both of them are noon games. We've had their number at home as of recent. We tied a couple years ago, but last year we had a pretty controlling, convincing win against them. And then our Thursday night game, which I do not like. So this is our toughest part of the schedule, this 4-game stretch here. We go to San Francisco on a Thursday, and I think that's just got bad news written all over it. Chase, what about you?
Yeah, kind of like you said with the Vikings, maybe would have thought that Packers-Niners would have got Sunday or Monday night. Thursday night game for the NFC Championship rematch is kind of weird to me, especially coming off Vikings. You think you would want both these teams at full-fledged, full force. But that'll be cool. Is there any color rush this year?
They kind of got rid of that. Teams just kind of wear them. whenever now. They don't really have uniform protocols, so to say, so the home team gets to decide what they wear, and the away team's got to adapt. Chuck, you had something to say?
Yeah, I think the reason that we're not playing Minnesota on a primetime slot this year is because the schedule that we do have allows us to play like the Saints, the Buccaneers, although that's not primetime. Like we have other matchups that they want in primetime because they love having Green Bay in that slot. So I think the Vikings didn't fit. And also I think the NFL is trying to like ramp up Thursday night football. If you look at all the Thursday night matchups this year, I'd say 80% of them are really solid games. So that's why I think they put Packers Niners there.
Yeah, yeah. Week 10, this is where we kind of get the easier part of our schedule. So that's our toughest stretch. Sunday, November 15th at noon. This is a Fox game. I thought it'd be CBS. We're home against the Jags, which I think should be an easy dub. I think the Jags are probably the worst team in the NFL right now, just with their front office and as a whole organization. Week 11, noon at Indy, the Colts. Another Fox game. This one's going to be tough, I think. Philip Rivers has our numbers in years past. Chase is a fellow Colts fan. What do you think about this game?
This is my call. I would have been Phil and his 12 kids taking one off of the Packers here.
And then week 12, Sunday night game. I'm surprised they gave us Packers-Bears Sunday night, but it's just the rivalry, so you got to put them in prime time. This will be a good matchup late November, home at Lambeau against Chicago. It's interesting because they give 2 games against Chicago in late November and then January, so both teams have to go into the cold to the opposing teams' stadiums. But who knows? Late November is not really cold anymore. But next week 13, home against the Eagles. We'll have Romo and Nance on the call. 3:25 only CBS game against the Eagles. Chunk, do you think we pull out a win this year against the Eagles opposed to last year's kind of game we blew?
Yeah, I think we do. I think the Eagles got worse, and I think we'll be better at the time. So I think we'll win.
Yeah, so then week 14, at Ford Field, noon against the Lions. These are the ones I just do not like the atmosphere at Ford Field. Chase, what do you think about this game, Sunday, December 13th at the Lions at noon?
Yeah, this could be another trap game. It seems like every year Detroit is a trap game. We have that super tough stretch right off the bat. Those third, fourth games we just talked about are kind of tough. Maybe coming off the Bears and the Eagles, we relax a little bit. If we do well in the first 12 games there, maybe we relax a bit. Going to Detroit and maybe slip up a little bit. We had that weird game last year there. That was kind of a nail biter. It seems like every year that kind of happens.
Yeah, they always throw out their trick plays against us. It's just a weird situation. So week 15, NFL is deciding on having it December 19th or 20th. I'm not really sure what the thought process is. Don't have a time or TV station this is on, but we're home against Panthers. I think this should be a win for us. Panthers are kind of getting overlooked this year, I think, but I think we should handle them at home in the cold again. Last year we played them in that snow game. Chunk?
That Saturday, Sunday is what the NFL does late in the season when they want like 3 or 4 games on that Saturday when college football ends. So that's why we're just one of those games.
Yep. So, be kind of cool to see us play on a Saturday. But then a few years ago back, we played the Texans at home, I think, on a Saturday when they had Osweiler in the snow. But week 16 after Christmas, we have another Sunday night game, home against the Titans. I think this one could be a nail biter. I think the Titans might have our number just how ground and pound they are. I think they can run through our defense, but I think this will be a great game. What do you guys think about this game? Chunk, I'll start with you.
I think it'll be a great game too. I don't know. Like you said, they ground and pound. They might run it right through us, but I don't know. I think Kenny and I like the up and coming Kiki. I think we can surprise some people defending the run. So, but I have Green Bay winning that game, but it'll be close.
Yeah, I was telling Chunk this Chase, if you were like a Raiders fan or something and you saw Packers Titans on Sunday night, would that just be like a weird game to you? Like, why are these two teams playing on Sunday night?
Even as a Packers fan, I'm like, why are we playing the Titans on Sunday night? I feel like we have some other games in there that might be better. I mean, if Titans turn out to be a good team again and they're have a good record at that point, if we have a good record, might be a good game. Might be some implications there for both teams. But a really weird game. I don't even remember the last time we even played the Titans regularly. But so yeah, to your point, kind of weird for a primetime game.
The last time we played Tennessee was a really chippy game when
Oh yeah,
the fuck
Rodgers.
laid out Rodgers in the end zone.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
that was
We
our
got
bad.
killed.
We got killed.
Cobb's little toothpick legs came running up on someone.
Yep, that was around the table year. Yeah, I remember that. In week 17 we go to Soldier Field. This will probably be a good game in the cold, January 3rd. Cold Soldier Field. You know how hard that ground gets there and everything. Rogers fucking loves it there though in the cold, so that'll be fun to see. That's how we end our season. Hopefully we have division locked up again, stuff like that. Don't have to worry about too much, but I could see this being a tight division with the Vikings and even the Bears could sneak. Lions, who knows what the Lions could be. But do you guys think it was fair to give us this game at Chicago Soldier Field, last game of the season? Chase, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I feel like it's actually happened quite a bit. I don't know if that's right. It's just kind of my feeling. And we had that game to go to the playoffs a couple of years ago where we torched them with Cobb there. Like you said, Rodgers salivates against the Bears, so I love it. Like to have a division game last game of the year like that, so I like
Yeah.
it.
I feel like we don't get them at home a lot. Week 17. Last year we had to. What was our week 17 last year?
At Detroit.
At Detroit, that's what it was. Yeah, so we won. We had to win the division there, but the year before that, were we home against? Yeah, we were home against Detroit the year before that. We never really played Minnesota week 17, but it will be good to see. Hopefully, we got the division locked up. Hopefully, not a lot riding on that. But do you guys have any other notes on the regular or Packers regular season? I see us going around 11-5. I think that's a very safe kind of bar. There's a couple trap games in there. Who knows? We could surprise and win some games. Last year, they surprised me a lot. Could lose. There's always one or two games we lose where it's like, how did we lose to this team? Like last year, I thought that was the Chargers getting blown out by them. But Chunk, what do you think the bar is for this Packers team with the schedule?
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head there. I think 11-5 is a good number. We have some really tough games against some really good quarterbacks, and then some odd trap games like that. Week 14, Detroit is Chase hit it perfectly. That is a trap game that scares me. And then I don't got a bad feeling against Minshew coming into fucking Lambeau. I don't know.
I was
Something
gonna say
about
that
him.
too as a trap game, but we kind of glanced over it pretty fast.
Yeah. But yeah, 11-5, that's a good bar.
Yeah. I just think we handle the Jags. We're good against unexperienced quarterbacks. It's the experienced ones that we just struggle against, like the Rivers and Wilson. But
I might even go lower here. I think we might be 10-6, 9-7. That first half of the schedule freaking scares the shit out of me. I think we might be in a bad spot coming out of those first 8 games, and it might have to be another run the table type of year where we all rally. And honestly, I like those years better rather than last year where we kind of 13-3. Never really, I don't know. You look at that team and you're like, they got absolutely blown out by the Niners, manhandled.
yeah,
I like the years where we have to scrap for it and we have to be a scrappy team and really earn our wins. So I think we have another year where we get hot the second half of the year rather than kind of coasting through. We might be a little better for the playoffs.
yeah. I mean, weeks 12 through 17, it's got me pretty horny. Those are some very winnable games there. Toughest team is probably Philly or the Titans, but who knows? They could take a step back this year. They were both pretty solid last year. But it'll be interesting. Schedule always kind of defines your year, obviously, when you play teams, where you play teams, the times that you play teams. Like that Niners Thursday night game right after playing Minnesota Sunday is going to be tough. But It's the NFL. They're paid to do this. Hopefully they get them ready. But my favorite thing is when Vikings or Bears fans try to say that, oh, Packers have an easy schedule this year. I mean, I guess, yeah, when you lay out the schedule, you can kind of get some gifts, but you play
I feel like
a
you're
lot
coming
of
at someone here.
what's that?
I feel like you're coming at someone here.
Yeah, forcing. But if you look at it, there's only two different teams that we play than the Vikings, Bears, and Lions. Like our two different teams in the rest of our division is the Niners, who's tougher, and the Eagles, who's pretty tough. But once again, very manageable. So we have the NFC South we play this year, which is a pretty good division, and the AFC South, which I think is kind of, you don't know, there could be surprises in there. So, Chunk, you got anything else to say before we move on to the regular NFL schedule?
Yeah, just one more thing. Like you said, it's the week 12 through 17 schedule is sexy, but like last year, at the end of the season, the schedule was so easy that the games were actually somewhat boring. Like it could be that way too. So I like a balanced schedule, but other than that, it's fine.
Yeah, but if we go 13-3 again, obviously won't complain. That's what I want, but we'll see. Is the NFL schedule week one? We see a lot of decent games. I think Packers Vikings might be probably the best game, but we see that first game of the season, Texans at the Chiefs. Chunk wasn't really a huge fan of it, but I think this is good on the NFL's part to get that Watson versus Mahomes battle week one right on everyone's TVs. Huge viewership. Chiefs are going to welcome in their banner. Uh, Arrowhead will be electric if there's fans. If there's not fans, that'll be really weird. But Chase, did you like that the NFL decided to open up with this game?
Yeah, I like that game. If there's everybody there and they're bringing in their banner, that first game of the year for any team, I think that would be huge for them. It'd be absolutely electric. If there's not fans, it'd be so awkward. Do they still do it? Do they just wait until there's fans there to bring in their banner? That'd be pretty weird. I don't think we're gonna have a problem with it, but I like that game. It'd be a fun game too.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are overlooking the Texans this year just because they got rid of Hopkins, but I mean, they still got Watson. They still got some deep threats on their offense. Defense could be better, but I think that's a very high-scoring game. Chunk, do you have anything else to say on this matchup?
Yeah, I don't want to watch Bill O'Brien's chin on Sunday Night Football or Thursday Night Football week one. Like they could have went with Baltimore or even Tampa Bay, the Saints. You could have picked any of those fucking matchups, but you pick Houston. I'm pissed. I hate it.
I don't know why you are. I think that's a good young quarterbacks. There's been a lot of passing. That's it. Just NFL smart. They could have picked those other teams, but maybe that's just how the schedule came out. Chunk, do you have any key matchups other than that in week one?
No, not really.
Sunday nighter is the Cowboys at the Rams, where the Rams open up the new stadium. I think that would be pretty cool to see the new stadium. Cowboys, America's team, supposedly. There'll be a lot to look into that. Week two, I like is it Monday night? The Saints go to Vegas and play the Raiders, where the Raiders open their stadium. That would be pretty electric too. That stadium looks sick. Chunks, do you have any key matchups from week 2 to week 6 really that you highlighted?
Yeah, week 3, the Chiefs at Ravens. It'll be cool to see Mahomes go to Baltimore and battle Lamar. Should be a high scoring game, but yeah, that's pretty much my game right there.
Yeah, and then week 3, 4, 5, I didn't see anything that was like off the table. Week 6, we already talked about Packers, Buccaneers. Do you have anything from week 6 to week 9? I guess week 9 is my next one.
No, not really.
Yeah, week 9. I like this one. This was big fan bases. Steelers at Cowboys. Chunk mentioned earlier tonight that he just loves when these two teams play. Every 4 years you get them. It'll be at Jerry World. Cowboys with their electric offense, Mike McCarthy's fat ass, at home against the Steelers, who Chunk and I think the Steelers are going to be really good this year. Chase, do you like the Steelers this year?
Really? Did you guys see Ben Roethlisberger's workout routine?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yoga, a round of golf, and then he drinks beer every night. Fuck that team and fuck that guy.
Oh, come on. Big rape.
Big rape. He's gonna whip his. He can't get tackled because he's always got his little tiny penis hanging out of his pants.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good matchup. Week 10, we get a rematch from last year of the Niners at the Saints. That was probably one of the best games last year. I like the Saints in that one. I like the Saints a lot this year. So that'll be fun to watch. Chunk, do you have anything else from, I guess, week 10 through week 15 later in the season?
Yeah, another one, kind of like the Steelers-Cowboys, is 49ers at Dallas. I always like when San Francisco and Dallas play. Two good teams. I think Dallas will be fighting for a playoff spot at that point, so that'll be a huge game.
Yeah, I agree with that too. That was my last one. Week 17 is always super fun because you get to see. I love NFL. One of the things NFL does right is that they have divisional matchups week 17, so that there's playoff implications, and a lot of times it's two teams that are fighting for the playoffs that play each other, and that's what they flexed to Sunday night. Last year we didn't really have that. We had seeding implications where the Seahawks played the Niners, and Niners squeaked that one out in a great game. NFL last year got really lucky with their primetime games. A lot of them were down to the wire, just crazy games. So hopefully that happens this year. As Packers were like one of 7 or 8 teams this year to get 5 primetime matchups, and that's the most they get. Then there's like 3 or 4 teams with 4. One of the teams that I noticed that didn't get a lot of prime times, I guess, were the Titans. I think they have like 3. They were in the AFC Championship last year, but I guess they're a pound the rock team, still kind of under the radar. So that was interesting to see. So do you guys have anything else to talk about the NFL schedule, I guess?
My favorite game on the whole schedule is Niners-Bills. I think it's it's December 7th, so it's either, I don't know what week that is, 15, 16. But Niners-Bills, that's going to be a football game. That's going to be just down your throat, lots of heads clashing, probably blood on the field. That's going to be a football game.
Yeah, that's week 13, Monday night. Bills got 4 primetime games this year. They usually never get, I think last year was the first time in a long time they got a Sunday night game. So it'll be interesting to see these teams. There's a lot of times where they miss. Like last year, they had the Browns have like 6 or 7 primetime games. Obviously, they're really bad and they had to flex them out. 2 years ago, it was the Niners. They had them have a bunch of primetime games, and Jimmy G got hurt and all those injuries, and they had to flex out. So, Chunk, did you have anything else on the schedule?
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious that they waited for week 17 for the for the Steelers to go to Cleveland. Thought that was hilarious. They wait all season to get the Myles Garrett thing back.
Yeah. When does Cleveland play at Pittsburgh?
Is he cleared to play? Is Myles Garrett? Is he all good?
I think he's reinstated.
He probably is. Yeah, because he missed like 7 or 6.
I remember watching that. I was like in a bar when I was watching that, and I just like looked up and dude just getting his face bashed in with a helmet.
Assault. It was assault.
Assault. Definitely. I had an exam the next day.
And is it a Thursday night game?
Yeah, I turned it before before it actually happened because I was like, this game's over. And I went to ESPN and it was like Scott Van Pelt, and they were like, you will not believe what just happened. And I was like, oh shit, how the fuck? He just fucking whipped his helmet off and started beating the shit out of him with it.
Amazing. That Mason, he's dating someone really hot now. I gotta look this up. Hannah Ann, that's who it is. God, fuck that guy.
It's funny because I thought I saw stuff about Josh Dobbs, same team, but
Josh Dobbs.
Dobbs is with Miami now, is he?
Yeah.
He's dating someone hot.
But probably not. Look at him.
Charlie Villanueva Jr.
Well, this says he's dating Hannah Ann too. What's going on? Are they Earl Thomas and her?
I don't know. Chunks into that. gating stuff.
Big Batcher guy.
Yeah. So yeah, ladies, there is a soft spot behind all the jerking off and everything. There's a guy there.
Fuck off.
But all right. So Chase, we have our draft series back. We're gonna do best tailgating foods. Kind of quiet here. It won't be as electric as the past ones, but
Yeah, this is like if you guys aren't asleep by now, I don't know how you.
yeah.
We'll do a random number generator. Cam, you can be 1. Eric, you can be 2. I'll be 3. First pick goes to 1. Cam.
All right. Beautiful.
All right, Eric, you can be 1. I'll be 2. 2.
Ooh, all right. I like back.
Cam, me, Eric. I think this is the best spot. 1 is a tough spot.
We doing 4 rounds again?
Yeah, so we're doing best tailgate food.
Okay.
Best food to eat at a tailgate. When you're tailgating and eating food, what would you like to have the best?
Mm-hmm. So we're not doing like alcohol. We're not doing like drinks, right?
If you eat your beers, then different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. So, you guys probably have a much better list than I do, but so I have a win. Chase has a win. Chunk hasn't won one of these yet, so I'm gonna start off, and I'm just gonna go with the generic, nice brat. Having a brat right off the grill, that's probably the go-to, especially in Wisconsin. Nice brat, nice beer. You're at Miller Park or Lambeau or wherever. Nobody really tailgates Bucks games, I guess, but
You're a sauerkraut guy?
yeah, sauerkraut on a brat,
Oh,
ketchup, mustard.
ooh, sauerkraut and brown mustard. That's my go-to.
Yeah, so brat is the first pick.
As I thought it would be. I'm gonna go burger.
Yep.
I think burger and brat. I thought you might have went burger. Thought you might have went brat. You went brat. I'm gonna go burger.
Yep, I agree with that. So you can't do hot dogs now, right? Does brat count as the same?
Oh, fuck off. I was going to pick
They're
hot
not
dog.
the same. I wouldn't say they're the same.
All right.
Yeah, so there's my fucking pick. I'm going hot dog.
I thought those were gonna be the first 3 for sure.
As they should be.
And then my next pick to a great side to a brat or a hamburger is potato salad.
That's good.
I love potato salad. You ever have Festi's potato salad?
The best.
I would get that in like the pound tubs and just eat it with a spoon.
Yeah, like
Just straight out of the tub.
outside of Lambeau, just have it. Yeah.
Yeah, those are still good. I thought those 3 were gonna be the first. Yeah. Do you guys like brats or hot dogs better?
Brats.
Brat.
Really? I'm a hot dog guy.
You could tell.
Got a small mouth.
Jesus Christ.
All right. All right. I'm gonna go. You got a little foldable table. You lay everything out. One thing you have to have on the table: chips and taco dip.
Ooh.
Taco dip. Oh man, that's so good. You don't like the little chives they put on there, like the little green circly things?
Those
I
make
like
it.
to flick those to the side and just get right underneath to the dip.
Yeah. I like that. I kind of have a similar thing, but I'm just gonna put queso. So you can just put queso, but just with chips. With Doritos, it's actually pretty good. You ever tried nacho cheese Doritos with
queso? But like the white queso with the red bag Doritos, whatever those are called. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, so queso. And then
you like white queso or yellow queso?
More of a yellow guy, but white's good. White's good. If I eat too much white, just sits in my stomach. I don't know why. Wrong, but
queso blanco.
All right, next one. Haven't really done this that much. A couple times at a Brewer game, but I guess someone might bring pre-packaged, or they might even grill these. But chicken wings, just wings. That's a good one to have.
That's a good one. A little messy, but I always get down and dirty for a chicken wing.
Always good to have.
All right, so I'm gonna echo that sentiment and also double up on my dips. Buffalo chicken dip,
Ooh.
big crock pot of it, like just a huge crock pot of buffalo chicken dip is the best. Oh my god.
This would be good for a segment for Chuck. We went to that Packer game when he was sick, and remember how much food he got? And then I had to carry his 6-pack. He got a 6-pack of Gatorade for like an hour of tailgating, and I had to carry his 6-pack of Gatorade. And everyone's like, "Oh, this guy's drinking Gatorade. Where's the beer?" And I was like, "Oh no, it's for this guy."
The true Packer fan right there. He is sick as a dog. He almost didn't make it.
Yeah. Chunk, you're up.
All right, I can't believe this one fell to me. It's at every single tailgate. A meat and cheese tray.
Oh,
Yeah.
Little square cheeses with like the salami bits in them. Oh my god.
Chunk, you might have ran away with this one.
I was just
that should have
say,
been a top 3 pick.
I better run away with this one. But my last pick, I've been debating between these two. They both start with the letter C. But I'm gonna go with, I think every tailgate has this, even for the little kids or anything. Just a cookie tray.
Oh, especially when you're drunk.
Yeah.
You know? Like hungover / like getting drunk again, and there's a cookie tray. Oh,
I was gonna go with that.
big chocolate chip guy myself.
Yes.
You guys ever have a Subway cookie?
The best.
Yeah.
All right, my last pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stuck in between two here, but I'm just gonna go simple meatballs.
Really?
I like that.
Nice balls of meat.
I feel like I've had a lot of meatballs, but I'm deciding between two last pick, but this one was kind of fuck. This is hard. This one was
This is so suspenseful. Holy shit.
this one was brought up already, but I feel every I'm not sure if this counts, but every tailgate has Doritos, so it doesn't matter what kind of Doritos. So I'll put Doritos in. Chuck, don't give me that one.
All right, I'll count it.
Is it not?
It counts.
Chase said chips and taco dip. You don't put Doritos in.
Oh yeah. Well, just taco dip is like the main thing. You have chips with like so many different things.
Yeah. And then my honorable mention was going to be like brownies. There's usually like a tray of brownies or something if that mom's there. Obviously, there's a lot of beer to be had there.
Pasta salad.
Pasta salad. That's a good one.
Yeah. I was going to do that. But I was between meatballs and pasta salad. I probably should have done pasta salad, but.
Yeah, a lot of people have Bloody Marys too. If it's especially like a noon Packer game, 10 o'clock Bloody Marys. So, Chunk, you have something?
Yeah, I got one more. Chili.
Oh,
Chili, yeah.
That's always so difficult. You show up at a tailgate and you gotta like stand there and hold a fucking bowl of chili. It's so good, but like.
Yeah, I get that.
You ever have like those almost like shish kebabs of like meat?
Yeah.
Those are good. Sometimes there's peppers on there.
Pepper, pineapple.
Yeah, fruit. Just feel like Chuck would. This is get on Chuck, but I feel like he'd bring like a steak or like a chicken breast.
Just shows up with like a ribeye.
Just, fuck yeah! I wish we could tailgate right now at a Brewer game. Get me excited. So not as electric as the other drafts we've had, but it's a good staple. We'll be sure to get this one out. I'm not sure if we'll have good video footage of this one since we're all whispering.
I might have to tailgate myself this weekend. Just go out on the back porch and buy a bunch of shit, set up a table, eat it all, and jump Bill's Mafia it off the roof.
Throwing out bags by yourself. All right, you guys have any other honorable mentions or anything?
No. Walking tacos. You ever had one of those?
Oh, those are. Yeah, I tried to look up some things, but a lot of them were like really like complicated meals people were making, like stuffed, like weird stuffed things. I don't know, but uh, so that kind of concludes our show today. Sorry if you hopefully if you made it past this, congratulations to you because I
This is our
probably
ASMR episode.
very,
ASMR
very
with the
soon.
Giannis.
But Trunk, you got any shout outs?
Nope.
Chase, any shout outs?
Shout out Call of Duty. It's been getting us through a lot of tough times.
Yes, it has. Yeah. I guess I have one shout out to Tyler Church. Guy's been an avid listener. Chunk's been telling me he's been talking about the podcast and everything. So shout out to Tyler Church. Played golf with him last week. Big fan of the show. Nice to hear from him. Former golf player too at Cardinal Stritch University. So that's good. Tuesday's episode, we'll be able to be more excited, more rowdy, get into things. Could have done something for episode 10, but any ending thoughts from you guys?
It's about time we get around to another Power Hour episode. So
Yes. I gotta look at my schedule here.
maybe next Friday we do a Power Hour episode.
The 15th. Chunk, do you close next week, Thursday?
I think I have the day off. I would love to do another power hour. That was gonna be my idea.
Yep. So let's book it for Thursday, the 14th. We do a power hour. So Friday, the 15th episode next week, we'll do a power hour. We'll have to get a good draft series going for that too. Thinking of things. We'll start scheming up some ideas. If you guys have ideas, you can hit us up with them too, and we'll be sure to give you the credit for that. But anyways, thank you guys for listening to this special quiet episode, and have a great afternoon.